Hello, my name is Tenaiya Imani. Welcome to my channel.
Baby, you know that you'll give me these butterflies, oh yeah. The way that you look at me, I feel alive inside, oh yeah. Boosting my confidence when you're by my side.
Let's talk. What did the 30-day social media break do to change my life? So first of all, for any of this to make sense, I have to give background on who I am, what I do, and where I've come from to where I am now. I've been on a social media break from the time span of June 14th to July 17th. I didn't really expect to go 30 plus days. It was more of a thing of let me try day by day and see how it goes. And it just so happened that it surpassed 30 days. So here's some background about Tenaiya Imani. I'm a 20-year-old multifaceted entrepreneur with the multiple businesses of my poetry book, The Metamorphosis of Me, which will soon launch on Amazon. Stay tuned for that. I also do website development, media designs, writing, a lash tech, so lash extensions, individual lashes on each eye, and a YouTuber. I'm also a full-time student at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, Aggie Pride, as a journalism multimedia student. Cry to be kid. And I also have an internship at this time as well. I am now doing promotional things on Instagram for my businesses and also advocating for mental health and physical health. While doing so, I was just so tired. Like, I was feeling like even though I really wanted to help people and wanted to continue to post these things, it was another job. I've always wanted to be financially free as well. So being able to incorporate all of these things into my life was something that I heavily desired to do. We're gonna go more into that later and get down to the nitty-gritty of the social media break. Something in me was just like, it's time. And I've been wanting to take a social media break, and the first person that really inspired me to take a social media break was Matt Diavella. He's amazing. I'll link the video of his down below. It just gave me a little insight of how my mindset could change if I took this break. So I said, okay, let's try it one day. So I did. And here's what happened. My headspace has become more clear and concrete over the course of this social media break and really discovered who I am as Tenaiya Imani King. I began to do things that I've never done before, like asking myself why I like to do the things that I do and why I just do the things that I do in general, why I do them so often, why I don't do some other things as often as I want to or need to. In this moment, I was just feeling very mind blown because I had never sat down and really thought, what do I really like to do and why? I've for so long associated what I like to do with what also, can be something that can push me forward in any aspect. And in doing that, I've come closer to the quote, I'm coming into my own. And I really feel I am adulting mentally, intellectually, emotionally, financially, in faith. I never knew what I would feel like being 20, and I didn't know when I would quote unquote feel 20, but now I feel 20. I know some of y'all are probably like, what does it even mean? Like, feel 20. For me, feeling 20 means I am working on having it together, but I don't have to have it all together just yet. But you also can't, just sit around and slack and expect things to get better without putting in some type of work. It's just this, tick for tack type of cycle right now, and being able to come to one with that has given me more direction in my everyday life. For a while, I just wanted to keep going, to just keep progressing. But in order to progress, you must take a break in order to recharge, rejuvenate, and move forward in a better energy state. But I wasn't allowing myself to do that. But now, coming out of the social media break, here's what I've learned. Number one, taking a real break. I would be the one to multitask and say, okay, I'm taking a break from this to go do this. that's not really a real break. It's a break from that task, but not a break for your mind as a whole. So me learning to be able to stop one task to do nothing and breathe was so astonishing to me. I tried to make myself say as if I were a vehicle, keep going on gas while I'm losing gas and continuing to drive on the road, but also trying to figure out, how do I put gas in my car while I'm still moving? You can't. You really have to stop to be able to refuel and continue to go on the journey. You can't fully allow yourself to enjoy or feel the journey if you're not connected mentally to the journey, because you're out of it by multitasking and being all of these different places. And that was me. So, number one, I learned to take a real break. Two, everything is mental. I would get to the point where I would feel like I didn't even have the energy to talk to my closer friends or associates or family, really any other space of my life for that matter. I had to learn to say no and not feeling like I'm obligated to say yes to everything. When saying no, I felt that my mental capacity could not hold any more information and that I had to decipher my own thoughts myself before I could intake anyone else's emotions or information. And I'm glad I chose to do so. In doing that, I was able to set boundaries for what I can take versus what I know that I can't, and not trying to push my own boundaries to help other people, because you have to first help yourself in order to help others effectively. 3, social media impacts your thought process. What you digest from social media is an input that affects your output. So what you see on social media and you continue to take note of and think about is the things that will trajectory themselves in your life if you continue to keep up those habits. I know for myself that me following other entrepreneurs, for example, for motivation, it can also counter effect and be that thing that has you feeling like, oh, I'm not where I should be, or I should be able to get this by this time, and if you don't get there, then whatever, right? Something is in shambles. Like, it's not really like that. This aura of social media has just had us in this mindset of go, 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 fast, 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 here, 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 pretty, 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 perfect, perfect, perfect. And it's not like that in real life. The fact that I took note of people possibly comparing themselves to people who have either one, went out their way to professionally take these photos and still choose that perfect picture that they want to post, and then choosing the perfect caption and the perfect edits and the perfect posing, and we would compare to that one. Or even if it's just, your regular phone, same concept. People can be taking pictures and take 100 just to find those few 3 that they say, yes, those are the ones that are Instagram worthy. Or, no, this is Instagram story worthy, but not Instagram feed worthy. Or, this is worthy for this social media platform, but not this one. And still going through that same process of the perfect editing, the perfect caption, the perfect selection of collection of pictures to post, and sometimes hashtags to get more engagement on all of these things that you perfectly crafted together to post on this feed that is artificial. My goal is to be a person that can show the authenticity and rawness of a person in general, but especially as a 20-year-old Black woman in today's society. I really desire to be transparent and honest, but more transparent, because there's a difference between transparency and honesty. Transparency is when you're able to share things that are the truth without being asked, but honesty is when you are prompted to give the answer and you speak up. I would rather lay it out on the table versus making myself seem like I'm so put together when I'm not. And I get this comment every now and then that I seem that I have all of my things together in life, and I really don't. I'm getting there. I'm getting more organized. I'm minimizing the amount of clutter mentally, physically, digitally in my life, and I'm happy about it. There's some, files to sort through, but not necessarily that the files are scattered all over my table, if that makes sense. I no longer desire to scroll through my feed. I just feel that there is no purpose in looking at these fabricated lives anymore. I've been muting posts a lot more, especially for those who aren't beneficial, and I've noticed that it looks a lot better. It feels a lot better. It is a lot better. Scrolling on the feed for more than honestly 2 minutes is mental constipation, because what are you doing with that information? Unless you're literally studying the post, there is little to no reason why you should be able to scroll on any platform for 30 minutes. Even more than 15 is excessive when you really think about it. People have obtained this trigger finger for something to go do, something to touch, something to see. I noticed that when I got off of social media, I had this trigger finger as well. I would try to go on my phone, unlock it, and then I would click on the collection folder of apps with all of my social media, and then have to click out of it because it was so habitual to go to that collection of apps and surf for little to no apparent reason. Like I said, I do promote on social platforms, but I would also find myself going down that drain of scrolling, and I would take notes, but also comparing in order to take notes of what I can do better as an entrepreneur and as a person in general, as a person advocating for the things that I advocate for. On the Ground Up Show podcast by Matt D'Avella, Greg McKeown made a wonderful statement that I felt resonated with this. Social media is a good servant but a poor master. So allowing it to be this thing that we're constantly gravitated to see and to be involved in and to keep up with and, run after, chase after, to have this, what? I don't even know what we're chasing after. This standard? What standard? A standard that was created, changed, redeveloped, tweaked. It always changes, but we're still nonetheless going after it. For what? I've noticed more people don't even look like what they look like on Instagram because of like what I said earlier, and also due to things such as Photoshop and not necessarily owning up to doing the Photoshop but looking different in real life. I thought this was very interesting. I've seen this before, but looking more into it over this social media break, it really opened my eyes that this is something that people are basing their goals off of that is fake and artificial. Even comparing yourself to have a goal of even fitness is wrong, because you will never look like someone else's body. You can only look like your body. So you can only set a goal with your body. So for example, if you want to be a certain build or a certain shape, you can only say I want to be more muscular or more toned versus saying I want to look like her. I feel like that is where we go wrong in creating goals for ourselves and wanting to move forward, because we can never look like someone else. We will never have someone else's body makeup. We can only have our own. And I feel like that's something that needs to be heard and digested. I learned to take things at face value. So questioning things less and really evaluating where it is and seeing it for what it is. I've been the person to question things always. Always want clarity, always want an update. Yes, you need that at times, but to consistently try to get that, ask for that, pull that out of someone or something is unhealthy. You have to be able to decipher what the situation is and believe that's what it is sometimes. Not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to red flags, but saying that what it is what it is, and move based off of what you have experienced and seen versus what happened in the past or what you've seen someone else do, but taking things as they are. I received blessings easier. I was able to be more open to receive things that my mind was too cluttered to be able to take in and to really digest, especially even just where I am in life. I had never sat down and thought, I really do all of these things that I do. I was just doing it. Like, yes, of course, I knew I was doing 1, 2, 3 and XYZ, but I wasn't feeling everything come full circle. It was like, I know I have to do this and do that for this, but not that I do all of this and all of this makes me who I am, and I have to shift and change things in my life to effectively grow in all of these areas of my life. Being able to categorize my life and what I do in life to try to have a better life has opened me to more opportunities and blessings. I've been able to hear things better and listen more, and not just hearing what the person is saying, being able to really listen fully to the response that I'm about to receive without thinking of my response back in the middle of their statement first, or even just being able to listen without feeling like I have to give advice. Sometimes people just want you to listen. And I've always been the person to be the great listener, the friend to be the shoulder to cry on, the friend to call up and ask for advice. But I would always feel the obligation to be able to help. Sometimes just doing what you feel is right in that moment can help more than the act of helping intentionally, if that makes sense. So now, after coming out of this social media break, I have redefined the things that I know that I want to do and need to do for myself to be able to grow in the person that I want to be in the future. That also includes my YouTube content. So I have been somewhat inconsistent, and it's due to the fact that the videos that I was originally posting at times were videos that I didn't really desire in my heart fully to do. Like, yes, I wanted to record, edit, and post them, but sometimes it was things that people asked me to see or they wanted to learn from me, so I would, create the content so that they could learn from it and get help. But I wanted to go a different route and didn't know that yet. So coming into this social media break, I noticed that the things that I really like to do, talk about most, and put my time in aren't the things that I'm really talking about on my channel, which bothers me heavily. Like productivity, finance, self-development, mental health, physical health, fashion. I feel that those should be more at the forefront than beauty for me. And beauty has been more at the forefront of my channel. So now I will definitely be incorporating more of the things that I desire to do and hope y'all receive them well. For those of you who have been subscribed, just subscribed, aren't subscribed, or have no clue who I am, hello, my name is Tenaiya Imani, and welcome to my channel. Again, the revamped version. Thank you for supporting, whether it be a like, a comment, a share, a subscribe, even a thought that this helped you. I sincerely thank you and want to address you and say you really do mean a lot to me, and I want to be able to connect with you more as my subscribers and as a community, to be able to have a more close-knit conversation in any area. And I hope after this video we'll be able to do this together. Thank you for clicking on this video and believing that you could receive something to help you grow. I hope these tips and my personal experience have helped you and encouraged you to take a social media break yourself. And I can honestly say it did change my life. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Baby, you know that you'll give me these butterflies, oh yeah. The way that you look at me, I feel alive inside, oh yeah. Boosting my confidence when you by my side.